Hey guys, Micah from Micah Doodles here. Going to be getting started here doing this 1960 Ford F-250. So again, if you're new, welcome. So let's just get started here with this truck. I'm basically just going to start laying out the shadows of this truck, of how I want to develop this first. Laying in my darker colors, then I'll go back in and change it up a little bit as well. So with the tires, I've decided on these not to go solid black. I do want to do black on the edges, on the outsides, but for this tire, I'm going to go ahead and keep them gray. And you'll be able to see what it looks like when it's all done, just to add to the dynamic. Sorry guys, I can't look at your guys' questions while I'm drawing because it's above my head, but appreciate that. I'll go back and check the replay on this as well when it's all done. But as I said, those of you guys who followed me before know that I always throw down a really rough sketch first, then I kind of go in and I build things up as well. So using this darker gray, I'm gonna shift into some lighter ones right now. A 109, hit some chrome on here. I've got my reference photo in here, so just kind of be laying down the rough ideas of where this truck is, just some rough details, and then I'll go back in and fine tune it. But I like these markers because you can kind of rough in stuff without really going in detail, and then when you want it, and then when you kind of have an idea of where things are at, the placement of things, then you can go back in and darken them in and just add your layers on there. So with this truck, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of hit the areas that I know I'm going to darken up a little bit later, but also that are going to help just define the edges of this truck as well, just the different chrome pieces and things like that I think are important. I don't do a whole lot of four-wheel drive, so it's kind of fun to be able to get a chance to try my hand at this stuff. But I think doing four-wheel drive is a little bit different than doing lowered cars. I definitely like doing lowered cars, I think, a little more, because I think you can, I think they lend well towards the ground, whereas a higher truck, you still have to cartoon it out, but it's a little bit more challenging. But I think this will look good when it's done. So now that I've basically figured out that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start roughing in all my black where I know that these pieces are going to line up. It's just the shadow behind it and whatnot. Also, you can follow me on YouTube. Just search Micah Doodles, and you can check out, there you go, you can check out anything that you want to see for time lapses and whatnot. So just search Micah Doodles on YouTube. But again, I'm going to go ahead and nail this one down, get it all dialed in here, and then we'll have some fun with it. So I am going to choose to do the outsides of these wheels black, like this. And I'm going to add a little bit of meat on the edges of the tires like this. I'll do the same thing on there as well. Okay. Thanks guys for joining. Again, this thing will probably take me about I'd say probably an hour and a half to complete. So you can check in, you can check out, you can watch the whole thing, however you guys want to do it. Again, I will put the YouTube time lapse of this vehicle, of this drawing, up probably tomorrow. So if you just wanted to see the quick version, you could feel free and do that. That's definitely going to be up tomorrow. So we'll go from there. So as soon as I've nailed down my dark areas on this truck, let me hit all my shadows in here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to build up. Let me see here. Let's do this. Now I'm leaving some white lines in here because I want to be able to see when I go back in here where that line is, so it's not completely covered up. And again, throwing down, everything's pretty rough in the first couple passes. It's just laying down the ideas of where things are going and stuff like that. So I'm not really that too concerned yet. When I get to the point where I'll do my second and third passes, then I'll start being a little bit more specific on that. But right now I'm just laying down areas of color. Okay, I know this window is going to bend out like that, so I'm going to hit that. Again, this is all going to be covered up anyway. You're going to see this color will go on dark, and it's definitely going to lighten up as it goes, as I progress on this thing. I'm just basically laying it all down real easy. Okay. Now this color is going to be this truck color is going to be red. So right now I'm going to basically shoot that in there real quick. I know where my highlights are, so I'm going to kind of be careful on that. But for the most part, I'm going to just start blasting this thing in. Again, laying it on light on my first pass. I'll darken it up as I go in here the second time. So on this truck right here, I'm going to have a, it's like there's some indentions, or there's some parts where the body kind of lifts off of the other part. So what I want to do is I want to give a little edge on that, so that's why I've left that edge there. But this for right now is going to help just to define where things are going. Here we go, really easy, really light, not a problem. Remember, this is one of my first pass. My second pass, I'm going to go a little darker, but this is just so that I can get all the features of this vehicle here real quick. Okay, second layer on top. This is where it has a little indentation. So I'm going to kind of leave a little white line above here so that I know where things are going. So I'm going to go ahead, since the lights come in this from this direction, I'm going to go ahead and keep this side of the truck darker than on top, but I'm going to layer that. So as you're watching this drawing build up, you'll kind of notice that you'll start seeing layers being built up on this truck, and this is important. So I'm doing all my inside edges first to kind of figure out where I want this thing to roll in at. I forgot there's some black lines in here, which I'll add in there in just a second. I'll add those details in just a little bit. Again, I'm leaving my white spots in here because what I want to do is I'm going to build that up. And I'm leaving it a little sloppy so I kind of know where the brakes are in this hood. Because then when I go back in and tighten it up, I want to be able to nail that down. Hit it just right. Okay, there's a grill thing on there. Now, what you notice about these Fords, the windows are real kind of interesting because on these earlier models or Fords, these 60s, they slant at an angle. They don't look very aerodynamic, but the way that this windshield works is kind of cool because it actually bends forward. So everything kind of leans in this weird angle, which makes them kind of unique. But it looks pretty cool. So really, I'm just going to kind of accent some stuff here, and then I'll go back in and I'll add some detail to it. But I just wanted to nail down where it was at first. Roughly like that. Even that, I got some chrome on top of there. I'm going to hit some lighter blues in here as well with some of this chrome as well. So I'll touch that stuff up a little bit later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and now do, let me add a little bit of think he's got up here. It looks like he's got, what is it called? What number is this? 16. That's too dark. Let's do this. I'm going to throw the back side of the inside of the cab in here real quick. Let's see. Go on, this guy will run like this. Roughly like that. All right, now with my grays, I can start building up some stuff. But then again, with this red, since I know where things are at, I can start building it up again. So now that I know where that's my line, I'm going to go ahead and just go darker. Just going to build it up darker right here. And I could actually go over that, because now that I know that that's a lighter spot, when I darken this up like this, that highlight I'm going to go ahead and hit later on. There's a couple different ways to do this. I can actually throw a different red on top of these highlights up here like this, if I wanted to. And what that's going to do, I'll build that up in just a second here and show you. Just blending in those colors on top of that hood. Okay. Okay, that's about my second pass over that. Let's see here. He's got a yellow license plate, so let me put that on there real fast, just to define where that's going to be real quick. Okay, there we go. All right, now with these rims in here, I can start kind of building up the color as well in here. I want to go a little bit of like a darker shadow on this outside. So I'm going to kind of build that up in there. Bring it down like that. I'll focus on this one here first. Now again, it's really not going to start coming together until I start adding my black outlines with my Sharpie pen. But I think getting it to this spot is important. And I might even want to go a 114 down here. We're kind of going a little sloppy in there, but that's all right. Again, this color's going on really dark, but it will lighten up. So, and I want to hit everything on this corner to be darker. Okay, now what I'm going to do here on this truck is I'm going to develop where this line is for this inside of here on this grill. I'll start adding in the darkness, and then when I start doing that, this thing will really start popping. But for the most part, just kind of building up the colors right now. See the distinctions between where my top of my shadow was. I wanted to kind of make that be a highlight area right here. So I've laid down 3 colors on top versus 1. You can see the difference in the amount of coverage. I'll darken that up in there. Well, I got my grays in here. I'm going to go ahead and do a 1/16 black, darker black, which will make those lines stand out. But I probably want to hit a 116 in here. So what this is going to be, this 116 is going to be my shadow. So this is going to pretty much be as dark as I go on my shadow. And so what I want this to do, and you'll see it looks like it blends in, but yet when it dries, you'll see the difference between this black. Because this black right here is 100% black. This shadow right here is basically 116, so it's not 100%. It's about that's 80%, and that's just one pass. But I definitely wanted to give a shadow effect, and so I didn't go 100% black on this because I wanted to create a little bit of a dynamic on here first. There we go. Starting to come together. Now with this 116, what I want to do is I want to kind of hit some areas in here. Now when I start taking my black Sharpie in here and start defining some things, this truck's going to start coming together and popping more. And so this has holes in here, so I want to go dark black in here to develop those first, because I'll go back in and I'll touch them up. There we go. I just wanted to develop that real fast. But you see, as you start adding that black in there, it really starts making this drawing start to come alive. Now, again, I'm still in the process of layering things. I haven't layered everything down, and I haven't finalized where all my parts are going. There are certain things on here where I feel comfortable with, and so if I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just add my dark black line in there to kind of develop that. Like where this hood goes, I feel comfortable with where that is. There's these air intakes that are there as well. I feel comfortable with that. There we go. Now inside here, I haven't nailed this down yet. So before I add my black in there, I want to make sure that I've got all that figured out. The way that this air intake goes, if I know that this is the bottom of this little grill, it's got a little intake that runs from here. So if that's my first stripe, and it looks like it, hold on here. This is a solid gray line here. So I've got like 3 lines that run off of here. There's one here. And there's one that runs like that as well. Just that's solid there. And so what I could do on this to really make this thing pop is to keep these lines thin and just to go a solid black in here. Watch, you'll see. I'll show you what I'm doing here. There's a couple different ways I could go. I could go like this, roughly like this, and then I'll fill it in a little bit later. There we go. Then I can go back in and fine tune it up, but this at least gives me something to work with here. Okay. I'm going to go a little darker on the inside of this wheel well. I'm going to pull this down here like this. Adding some shadow. The other thing I could do too on this side, on this red, is to come through here with this marker here and kind of add a little bit of shadow on there, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm still building up my red. Defining where that's going. Okay, I'll throw down my ground real quick, and then we'll build it up from there. Bit of shadow in there. Okay, what I like to do anytime I do lights is I always like to put a little shadow, cast shadow, since they're circular, over the top. So what I'm going to do is build that over the top like that. You can't really see it very well, but when I go back in and color that in, it'll stand out a lot better. I'm going to pull this thing. You can definitely see how that's lightened up in there. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to start really defining my shapes in here. Because then that's going to help me then to know where I need to put some darker areas on this truck, especially like inside of here. Okay. Just kind of adding some chrome details there. I may use this PM109 to develop the shadows on here a little better. roughly that's about where I'm at right now. Then I'm going to now start going in here with my Sharpie marker and start really defining the edges on this thing. I'll start here with these rims, just so you guys can kind of see things begin to come together on here. I'm not really too worried about what's happening in there because I'm going to go back in and darken that up and add a little bit of shadows and highlights in there as well. So okay, moving on now, I'm going to go over to, I'll just start hitting some of the chrome areas that I know that I need to, gas cap, whatnot here. Okay, on this truck, it looks like he's got metal plating on top of there, so just kind of going to give that a little bit of a touch on there. This is where I want this. Mirror to really pop here. Go back in there and hit that with some white. Make that thing really stand out. Door handle, I normally come in there and I'll hit that with some white as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do basically here, since I've kind of got my basic outline of this truck, now I go in with my Sharpie marker and I'm going to outline. I really want to focus on getting the outline of some of these key elements, because this kind of makes this thing begin to pop. here now. On these tires, I'm going to give them a little bit of tread on the outside edge. There we go. So roughly what I've done is I've traced around most of the elements of this truck. There we go. To kind of give that, just to kind of make that thing stand out a little bit. And then I can also I'll darken this up down here as well. Okay, about ready for another pass of that red. So I've got that color. I'll go ahead and hit it again. Really, what I could probably do on this red is just go over this side with a gray, and that gray will look really dark, but it'll actually really add a distinction between these colors, because these colors are layering, but it takes a lot of ink. I don't want to waste all my red pen layering this whole thing. So what I may end up doing, I'll do this one side last time, and then I'll add my gray color in there. Take care of that. And really make it stand out. Okay, I'm going to start defining this bumper now. Just adding in a shadow here where this truck. Then I'll go back in and tap in where this gray is going to be at. Now I'm just going to start to add some detail in here with this black marker. Keys?
My keys?
They're in my sweatshirt up there.
I wish you'd take them out when you come home.
Okay, I'll nail down this part of this truck here. That little shadow underneath there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically hit these areas in here with a darker gray. So I want to about I think I want about a 110. That should be all right. Okay. I'm going to use a 110 on the inside of here. You can see that this 110 is making this side definitely stand out and look a little bit more, you know, rounded or whatever, three-dimensional compared to the other side. Something like that. You're starting to see some, looks like it's developing. Roughly. I'm gonna add a little bit of a Sharpie marker in here to give it a little bit of depth around this edge. There we go. Actually, I may end up just darkening this up right here. Truck's coming together. Yeah, a little bit of dark gray down here. Some more. Yeah. Okay. Start adding highlights in certain areas of this car where I want to hit it, where it says Ford and things like that. Certain hot spots or whatever. Hold on.
Jaden's really annoying me.
I know, I hear you guys. Just a second, I'll be up in just a second, okay? Let me go up there in just a second. Okay, I'll be right up there. Let me finish this up, okay? Okay. You want to watch this?
They're calling me. They're telling me names and all that.
I know. And I hear you yelling too.
Because they're getting me really frustrated.
Yeah, but that's not the way we handle it, is it? So, you know, you got to think about what you're doing too. You're not handling it well either. Okay.
They're being mean.
I understand that.
Are you doing a video?
Yes.
There's 0 people online.
I know. Well, I'm not worried about it. It's okay. Not a big deal.
But I'm not watching this.
I don't know.
It's getting close to nighttime.
What's that?
What time is it?
What time is it? Okay. Here we go, buddy. I think I've got it about done. Okay.
All of them you draw sideways. Why?
Why? This is how I want to do it.
So you could show the wheels? The side part too?
Yep.
Dad.
Yeah.
You should draw some cars like this. Look.
Hold on. Okay.
Like
That's
the
cool.
front like this
Yeah.
and side like that.
Okay. So now, let's take this and let's start adding some of this shadow and this highlights, like the gloss part.
Mr. Windshield. That really looks like an old car.
Yeah.
No, in this picture, that looks like a brand new because of the marker of the red.
Okay. What do you think about that? Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
Looks like that. Okay, let me add a couple highlights up here, and I think we'll be done. Okay.
Can I look at the rest?
Hold on. Not yet.
Wait, what's the other car in the background? What's that car right there?
What? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what.
That's the tire.
There we go.
Dad, which part of the car is this?
What?
Which part of the car is this?
I don't know.
Just guess. Look, right here.
Hold on, just a second.
Pretty obvious.
That's the body of it.
What do you mean, body?
The body of the truck. Okay, ready?
What do you mean?
I think I'm all done. No, I gotta put
Point to the
I don't
picture.
know, right here.
Right. See
Almost
that?
done.
Look, right here.
Okay, just a second.